Hi there. I love battleships. I do. They're in my blood. My father may have helped build the USS Missouri. This is the first of our videos about these powerful, fast, deadly, and beautiful floating fortresses. Brooklyn's Navy Yard launched a dozen of them, not counting the Monitor, in 165 years. They all help protect our Western culture. And I'm not talking cowboys and Indians here. The Far East is here. This is the Mideast. Some of our most important ideas were first developed in Greece, the cradle of Western civilization. They spread to Rome, permeated Europe, and then went global. They are found in language, education, philosophy, science, the arts, and politics. Democracy is just one example. Greek culture might have been erased even as it was being born. Ancient land and sea battles saved it, though the ships weren't battleships yet. I can't imagine what the world today would be like if those battles had gone the other way. By the way, it was Herodotus, the father of history, who investigated and recorded what happened in the Mediterranean almost 2,500 years ago. The year was 492 BC. The place, the Aegean Sea. The ships, Triremes. These were coastal galleys that had a bronze ram, 3 banks of oars, and a crew of 200. Persia's King Darius wanted to expand one of history's largest empires. Centered in today's Iran, it went from the Balkans to India. It included Egypt and North Africa. And now he wanted to add the Greek city-states. His forces went around the Aegean to conquer its coastal cities. Unfortunately for him, a storm at the Mount Athos Peninsula cost him his fleet. Still, he kept going until a vastly outnumbered Athenian army crushed his forces on the plain of Marathon. The legend tells us that Phidippides ran 26 miles to Athens to shout, "Nike! Nike! Victory! Victory!" He then died from exhaustion. If it's true, that's so sad. Another, by the way, in 1908, the British royal family moved the start of the Olympic marathon to be in front of Windsor Castle. That added 385 yards to the race. The winner of the marathon was an Italian, Dorando Pietri. He took 10 minutes to go those extra yards. He fell down 5 times. Each time the umpires helped him up. When he got to the finish line, they disqualified him because they'd helped him. You can't make this up, now can you? Let's go back to 480 BC. King Xerxes decides to avenge his father's humiliation and continue to expand the empire. First thing he does is he has a canal dug across that peninsula. Another, by the way, Mount Athos is also called Holy Mountain. The local tradition says that the Virgin Mary came and asked her son to make the peninsula her garden. Monks followed. Today, there are some 20 monasteries still there. Xerxes invaded by land and sea. At the pass of Thermopylae, his army outnumbered the defenders by 10, maybe 100 to 1. Those 300 Spartans inspire everyone fighting for freedom. They held for 3 days until a traitor showed the Persians a way past them. As the Persians approached Athens, its citizens escaped to nearby Salamis Island on 200 triremes. Xerxes had his throne brought to the shore, and he sat to enjoy the spectacle of his mighty fleet destroying the badly outnumbered Greek one. What a guy. Things didn't turn out the way he planned. The waters in the narrow bay turned rough. Xerxes' rowers became tired and couldn't maneuver because he sent too many triremes into the narrow channel. The Greek ships attacked and killed the Persians' admiral. That was Xerxes' own brother. Of the 300 ships that were sunk, only 40 of them were Greek. Something like 40,000 Persians died, most by drowning. Some of his captains swam to shore. But, and there's always a but Xerxes had their heads cut off as punishment. He then returned to his palace in Persia. The naval victory at Salamis was the turning point of the war. Greek culture survived. Its ideas of freedom, of self-government, of democracy spread. Their idea that rule by a king is almost slavery is heard in every single free election. Every one. Another, by the way, the Persian Empire was eventually defeated by the Greeks. They were led by one of history's goats, Alexander the Great. Another, by the way, triremes were fast and incredibly maneuverable. In the 1980s, the Olympic was built. She had a crew of 170 amateurs. They got her up to 9 knots and could completely reverse direction in less than a minute. Battleships are all about control of the sea. The famous invasion of Rome in 218 BC shows that clearly. The Romans controlled the Mediterranean, so Hannibal's army and its elephants had to march through Spain and France, which was called Gaul, and over the Alps. It's not what you want to do with elephants, now is it? We're not doing Hannibal's story here, how the Romans went to North Africa and made him follow, how Carthage was almost literally erased. All the people were enslaved. Sad history, we're not doing it here. The Phoenicians had originally founded Carthage. Now, Phoenicia, that's where Lebanon is today. The road to Western civilization that we know passed through Rome. And our history would be very different if Hannibal had won. One of the greatest generals in world history. His victory at Cannae is still studied. He just didn't have the manpower the Romans did. Our next video, part 2 of Battleship history, has sea power saving Great Britain from invasion. I am Mike for the Be More Better team, and I have really enjoyed making this one, and I hope you've enjoyed watching too. God bless all those who have made the world better. Those we don't even know their names. Those who have sacrificed. So what about you? Here's a thought. If you're having a bad day, even a broken crayon can still color the world. Until the next time. Bye now. Thank you.